Hello everybody, today I'm going to be creating a card. I am using a Altenew stamp set. It's called Perfectly Perfect and I love the images, the floral images in it. And all of the supplies will be listed down below, so if you are wanting any of the products that I'm using or curious to know where to get them, be sure to check out the description box below. Also, be sure to find me on social media. All of the links are in the description box below as well. And be sure to sign up for my newsletter over on my website. Also, if you like card videos or if you like this video in general, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. All right, so let's get to the card, and I am using the Tim Holtz stamp platform, and I am taking some Arteza watercolor paper. I am inking up these stamps with some Versamark ink, and I like using the stamp platform for this only because I can stamp it twice. Because this is watercolor paper, it absorbs some of that ink, and then that way I know that when I add the embossing powder, it will stick. So the Versamark ink, if you're new to heat embossing, it is a very sticky ink, and the embossing powder will stick to it, and then you can melt it with a heat gun, which you're going to see all of that right now. So I stamped it twice, and like I said, the stamp platform helps me stamp it twice so that I don't have to guess on where to stamp it twice, or I don't have to try to line it up. I would never even think about it because I would do horrible. So this really makes it easy to get a really crisp image. And then I add the gold embossing powder. This is from Ranger. It is the super fine embossing powder, and I really like it for these really thin lined flowers or sentiments. It's really fine embossing powder, and it melts perfectly, so you could see that it melts perfectly on the watercolor paper. And now I am going to start coloring. So you see that I did stamp it and embossed quite a few flowers here just so that I had them on hand. I really wasn't sure how many I was going to use, so I figured that I'd just stamp them out because I had the platform out and the embossing powder and all that kind of stuff. So I figured I'd just do a bunch, and I think these flowers look really pretty in the gold embossing powder. I was going to do them in white, but I thought the gold would be really pretty. So if you haven't seen the other videos that I have on my channel using the Zig markers and also the Arteza real brush markers, be sure to check them out. I will share a little bit of how I color the images on watercolor paper, but if you want more in depth, be sure to check those videos out. You can just search on my channel, and I'll try to link them up in the upper right hand corner for you so that you can check them out. All right, so I take the water brush and I add a little bit of water to the petal. And then I take the Zig Clean Color Real Brush marker in the deep red color. This is a really pretty red. And then I brush on a little bit and let it bleed out because there is water on it. And then I go back in with the water brush, and I'm using the Arteza water brushes, and I love them. They have like a squeeze, you can squeeze the water out and they don't drip. They're probably the best and the most used water brushes that I have. Anyway, so I go in with more of the water, and then I will continue to add more of the color, and then bring the water to the color, if that makes sense. And then sometimes I will add more color and then bring the color out towards the end of the petal because I want the center to be darker than the outer petals, if that makes sense. So You see here again, I add a little bit of the water, and then I add a little bit of the color where I feel I want it to be the darkest and have the most depth to the flowers. And then I'll go in with the water brush and blend it out. And then sometimes I even start at the edge of the petal and work my way into the color. That way it bleeds really nicely, and it is really blended out really well. So I just continue to do the same thing until I am happy with the outcome. And again, this is really sped up. I do have several videos of me using these the Zig markers and also the Arteza markers as well. They both work wonderfully. I just haven't used the Zig markers in quite some time, so I thought I'd pull those out. So I don't share with you me coloring all of the flowers because I feel like that would be quite boring, but I cut this card panel out with a Avery L wonky die, and you could see it's like stitched kind of wonky and wavy on the edges. And then I added some splatters. I didn't realize that my camera had shut off, but then I add some distress oxide ink in Hickory Smoke, and just to give it a, so that it's not so white in the background. And then I add some more splatters. So you could see here, I put a little bit of the Zig marker on my work surface, and then I just kind of tap it on to the card panel. And now I am adding some white splatters to the flowers. And I'm using some distress spray in Picket Fence to do this, and a little tiny paintbrush. That way I get really small splatters. And this is a wood veneer piece from Altenew. I love these, and I recently just kind of embossed a bunch of them in white because that's what I normally do. I just emboss them in white. And what I did was I turned it over and put the embossing powder on the sticky part of the wood veneer. That way I didn't have to use my VersaFine ink or anything. So I did that, and I had that just in one of my little extra bins that I store a lot of my extra pieces in and stuff. And now I am trying to layer up the flowers how I want them. And I add some upholstery thread to the back of this flower because I like the texture that it gives the cards. And I am more of a mixed media type of person. I love texture. Simple is not really my thing, although I try to do it sometimes, but I fail at doing really simple cards and things. So realistically, this probably would take extra postage to send out. It wouldn't really fit in a regular envelope. I think it would have to be non-machinable. But anyways, I am now going in with some leaves that I colored with a warm gray Zig marker. And these leaves are from the same stamp set. So I'm just going in and adding them where I want them. And I get a lot of my inspiration for my cards from the Altenew design team. If you haven't checked out their blog or their Instagram page, you will not be disappointed. They are so talented and so inspiring. So now I'm taking a sentiment from the Magnolias stamp set from Altenew, and it just says thank you. And then I'm going to pop it up with some of this foam, fun foam. And I also took a larger piece and popped up the card panel onto the card base. I didn't show that in the video. And then there you go. And I popped up one of the flowers as well on top of the wood veneer piece just to give it more dimension. And that is going to complete the card. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you did, please give it a thumbs up, share it on social media, and please leave me a comment down below. If you are new to my channel, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you are notified whenever I upload a video. Here are a couple more videos you might enjoy. And again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.